Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Just want to call the meeting to order for the Scituate Board of Health for July 7th, 2025. Let's go with a roll call attendance. Allison
I'm here.
and Karen are present as well, so we do have a quorum to kick off.
You should call the Dr. John's name just in case, just
Oh,
so people know.
Oh, when he comes.
oh,
Well,
when,
no, just call him now so people know he's not here.
Huh.
okay.
So we
And as you stated, John is not here tonight, but we do have 2 out of 3 members, so we do have a quorum. Okay, so first item on the agenda is a review of a variance for the well for, where's my address here? 175 Maple Street. And so, Mr. Dunbar, I wonder if you could, actually, everyone, if you want to just introduce yourself, your name and your address, or would be great.
Yeah,
Sure. Go ahead, Widmeyer.
good evening. So, Widmeyer Charles, the owner of 175 Maple. I have Steve Dunbar, who's my site engineer, who represents me, as well as Jim Watt, who's here with me, who's the installer. I'll I'll let my site engineer get started, and Jim will jump in next to answer any questions.
Excellent. So good evening, everybody. Thank you for the time to speak to you tonight. My name is Steve Dunbar from Dunbar Engineering and Management out of Franklin, Mass. I put together the proposed well location site plan, as well as the approved plan for the new septic system and stormwater storage in the back of the property. And I just wanted to cover why the proposed well location is where it is. So if you can I share my screen to show?
You can, yep.
Okay, let me see if I can do that without hurting myself. Okay, so this one, screen 2. All right, it says I'm sharing. Can anybody see that?
It is a,
Yeah.
oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, so this is 175 Maple. It's a parallelogram right here. We previously submitted a plan for the stormwater storage in the back of the property. First, I wanted to point out there are wetlands off the property at the rear, which kind of drove the location of both stormwater storage, then the septic system, etc. One of the things that came out of that review and approval was a suggestion to do some soil evaluations, which I'm a licensed soil evaluator, so I did those. We did one on either side of the proposed dwelling, as well as one in the footprint of the rain garden. And the reason why I bring that up is because all three of these deep soil evaluations showed we had standing water in 2 of them, and we had modeling in all 3. Both the current at the time of the soil evaluations, the current groundwater level and the estimated seasonal high groundwater table both had a gradual gradient in this direction off the property to the back corner. And I think that's significant because we're proposing to put the well in front, right about here. I don't know if you can see my magnifying glass pointer, but it's here in the front, just off the driveway, proposed driveway. And it meets all the required offsets with the exception of the 100-foot offset to leaching field. So it meets the offset for the proposed SAS for 175 Maple, but the neighboring properties, one on Old Oaken Bucket Road and one at 179 Maple, their systems, which were located based on as-built plans that were pulled from the Board of Health, they are, as shown on the plan, are roughly 83.1 feet and 84.2 feet from the system. And because of these offsets, there's really no other place. If we tried to meet the 100-foot, there is no space on the front of the lot to meet the 100-foot for these 2 systems. So I split the difference basically between the 2, and I don't think that it's a high risk to allow a variance of the 15 feet simply because Like I had suggested earlier or stated earlier, the groundwater flow is in this direction. So this system, if it doesn't leach directly down and percolate down vertically, it's going this way. Same with this one. If it doesn't percolate straight down, it's going this way. Neither one of them are going to flow directly towards the well. Now, so in my opinion, it's low risk to allow the 15-foot offset, but I know that Jim has some additional information on the install of that well, which is going to provide some significant protection to it. So I'll hand it over to him unless you have some initial questions for me.
No, why don't we go on to him and then we'll save our questions till you're done.
Oh,
Okay.
Karen, can I just make a note that we did get
Yes.
all the abutter cards? So
Yes, thank
just
you.
make a note of that. Thanks.
So Jim, you're up.
Good evening. My name is Jim Watt. I own Jim Watt Artesian Wells. I've been in the artesian well business for 55 years. We have a situation where we need a variance because we're 17-foot short on one of the locations as far as the septic systems goes, and I think about 16 feet. So the construction of the well has to be changed. I copy all the laws that are in place now in New Hampshire for non-conforming lots. So there's a multiplier over what the requirements are of the 15 feet at the competent bedrock to set the well case. So what I'm going to do in this particular case, and if we get the variance, is to go 25 to 30 feet into the bedrock before I put the well casing into the core of the earth, and then we're going to cement the outside of it. So the annular between the outside of the well casing and the inside of the borehole will be filled with concrete and drilling fluid, which is a drilling mud. This will keep anything from getting into it, and being that far into bedrock, I think I've done about 10 or 12 of these, most of them around ponds and stuff in Pembroke, Middleborough, and I've done one, I think one in Hingham, and we've had the water tested every 6 months afterwards, and they've all passed and haven't had a failure yet. So I believe if the permit is issued, I don't think there'll be a water problem here as far as nitrates or any type of contamination. It should, and with filtration, we can make it meet the MCL.
Thanks for that overview. That's really helpful to hear how you're thinking about constructing this property. And I see we have 2 hands raised, but I'm going to hold on that just for a minute because I just want to make sure that we have the questions and answers from the board first, and then we'll go to those folks with their hands raised. So, Allison, I'll start with you. Do you have questions for anyone?
I just wanted to, I know that they mentioned about the water department, that, you had some discussions with them, but I'm just wondering if they need to be involved in this conversation. I know it's ultimately up to, um, us to make that decision, but I just didn't know if before we went forward, if we needed some kind of discussion with the water department, and that's more for you guys than Mr. Dunbar.
No, the water,
Okay.
not on a well, wouldn't have anything to do with this.
Okay.
No,
All right. That's great.
the owners already discussed several options with the
Yeah.
water department, and this just seems the best option because he is going to use it for drinking water. So
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, that was my question too for Mr. Charles. So it is a drinking water. Is it irrigation and drinking water?
Yes, it will be used for, both purposes.
Okay. I think those, we did, and we saw that, it was originally located in zone 2, but now it is not in a zone 2. So that was good to hear. I was a little concerned about that, but so that's great. So it's just really the variance from those 2 abutting septic systems. So makes sense. I don't think I have further questions. So, Allison, are you comfortable with making a motion?
I am comfortable. Yes. Do you want me to make a motion?
Yeah, if you could, please. Thank you.
Yep. Motion to approve.
Can you read the whole motion, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Vote to approve the variance from the town of Scituate private well regulation requirements for setback requirements for the following: a reduction in the setback to the septic system from the required 100 feet to 83.1 feet at 303 Old Oaken Bucket Road. And number 2 is a reduction in the setback to a septic system from the required 100 feet to 84.2 feet at 179 Maple Street.
Right, so I will,
And
oh, go ahead, sorry, Allison.
no, that's
I'll go ahead and second that motion and I will approve it. And Allison, how do you vote?
yes.
Okay, so it passes. So thank you all for your time tonight and presenting these details, really helpful in helping us make this decision. And good luck with your well drilling.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your evening. Take care.
Yeah.
You too.
Okay. And there we go. Okay, so let's move on in our agenda. Next, we have any old business?
No old business. I
New-
will be, okay, no, go ahead on,
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Business. So on to new business. I will be distributing the survey prior to the next meeting. And at the next meeting, I don't expect any of us to, have read the entire thing, or you guys to have read the entire thing. But at least you'll have it and you can take a quick overlook and we can put it under new business.
Okay.
And then after we look at it, we can look at it after you guys have had time. I don't want to put a set date on it because that's a lot of pressure, especially in the summertime. So, but so that will be that under new business next time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sounds good.
Do we have any, so no new business this time either?
No,
How about director's report?
we have a director's report. So currently we have 15 plans under review. We have 5 awaiting engineering revisions, 3 awaiting Concom comments. We have 12 as-built in the queue, and we have 17 failures. We have started our beach testing, and we did have our first closure, and it was Lighthouse Beach, and it was Friday, July 4th. We actually had to close it. The numbers came in high on Peggotty and Lighthouse on Tuesday when we tested, on Wednesday when the numbers came in from Tuesday, and then we retested and the numbers came in fine on Peggotty on the 4th. Joan came in on the 4th in the morning, checked the emails, texted me, Peggotty's fine, post Lighthouse. Lighthouse came in at 109, and the cutoff number is 104 per 100 milliliters. So we were just a little over on Lighthouse. So I went out and posted it on Friday around 8 o'clock in the morning. And then we got the results back again. We didn't get the results back until like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Friday night. But we didn't know we thought they'd be coming in the next morning. So we didn't get to, when Joan came in Saturday morning, then around 11 o'clock or so, I got the text and I went down and took the sign down. So it was up for 24 hours. And the reason it was up for 24 hours is because we had 2 consecutive tests in a row over. We don't have to post if we have one because it might be a false positive. And so they had discovered when you post it after one test and then you do another test, they found out that a lot of times, a very high percentage of times, you were closing it and you necessarily didn't even have to.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Peggotty Beach would have been a perfect example.
Yeah, well, thank you
Okay.
both for coming in on your holiday. Definitely appreciate
No.
it. I'm sure the hundreds of people at Peggotty Beach really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine having that closed all
I
day.
know.
July.
I know.
But
So,
It's good we both live in the town and we're close by.
Yeah, exactly.
It works out well. We have a good system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I saw
So,
the email, I was surprised that you guys were in there on the holiday.
oh yeah. So I always tell my friends, it's a 24/7. It's a 24-hour.
it's a critical position.
Yeah. Yep, it
They like to
is.
shake their heads and roll their eyes at me. So, and on speaking of the beach testing, so we are doing all the tests. We'll be testing again tomorrow, and we'll be going there right now. All the beaches are open, and the bathrooms down on Egypt Beach, they are opened at around 10 o'clock in the morning when the lifeguards come on, and then around 8 o'clock at night, DPW goes down and locks them up and closes them. So they're not open 24 hours.
That's great. I know that was a
Good.
concern at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm glad you figured that out.
That's great.
The feedback that I've gotten just from, I'm an Egypt Beach person, is just fantastic from people I've been talking to. They're really happy with it.
I would imagine that Peggotty Beach will be next because I think Peggotty has some pumping ability down there. And there's town sewer right there too at that end.
Yeah,
That's great.
Way down. So we'll see. As you know, we have had extremely hot weather. I don't know if Joan and I were trying to figure out whether or not we actually here had 3 days in a row over 90. I'm not real sure. I know that we had a heat advisory. So, you know, the library's open for cooling centers, the senior center's open. Those places were open and we advertised. You can always come down to town hall if, you know, Monday through Friday when it's open. A movie theater is always a great place to go to. So the other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, you always want to make sure you check on your neighbors, especially if they're elderly during the hot weather. Plymouth County mosquito control is in full swing. We get the list of streets that they send us every week. There's usually anywhere from 6 to 15 streets on there every week that get sprayed. They do special occasions. They'll come down and do it if there's a big event going on. I know they did a couple of big events Thursday and Wednesday down in Scituate where the fireworks and everything were going to be going off. And their phone number is 781-585-5450. And again, it's mosquito season. You want to make sure there's no standing water, especially when we get these, you get a little bit of rain. It's enough to fill up a old tire or a wagon or a bucket, and it's in the backyard. You don't remember, and 2 weeks later, you're going to start getting mosquitoes. We haven't had any positive pools or mosquitoes in Plymouth County at all for anything yet, so that's a good thing. And then we have the KSC Carnival this weekend, July 8th through the 12th. Fireworks, the 11th and 12th. Yay, dogs!
Yeah.
Fireworks are spectacular. They do a nice job with the fireworks there, too. So we're going to be in the harbor. Joe Murphy will be in the harbor tomorrow with all their food permits. Joan and Teresa are very vigilant about making sure that all their paperwork is in so that when Joe goes down there, all he has to do is worry about his end of it, making sure all the equipment's where it's supposed to be and they have all the supplies that they need. We have Heritage Day coming up on August 2nd and 3rd. So that will be the next big event after the KSC Carnival. And then we did hire a new licensed clinical social worker through the Public Health Excellence Grant. We interviewed her last Thursday and she accepted the position. She looks fantastic. Her name's Nicole Roach. She has to give a 3-week notice to her prior job. So it'll be sometime in August that she's going to be starting, but we're really, really excited about that. So that's I know that Eric is really excited about that too. So is Pam over in Cohasset. So we're looking forward to that. And then Ralph Cole, a longtime PERC witnesser, is retired. His last official PERC witness was something you guys approved probably June 27th. So he is no longer with us. Joan, Teresa, and I are gonna take him out to lunch on a Friday afternoon, or maybe a Thursday afternoon, down to, I can't think of it.
He wants to go the Bridgeway. He wants to go to the
Bridgeway. He
Bridgeway.
wants
Oh, the
to go to
Bridgeway.
Of
The old
So we're gonna
Bridgeway.
take him down to the Bridgeway for lunch.
Awesome.
And
Oh, that's great.
yes, and he's 91 or something, not 91, I think.
91.
So yeah,
He-
good for
You'd
him.
never know it.
I
never
why he's
know it.
retiring. So yeah, we're gonna bring
Yeah.
him down there, and then we have already hired our new perk witnesser, Barbara Reardon. She's already filled out all of her paperwork, and we already have an additional perk witnesser, just in case Barbara's busy, lined up. I'm getting her the paperwork now. She does it. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but I got an email from her. She's retiring Board of Health person that has all the credentials to do it, and she's done it in the past.
Oh, that's
So
great.
that's good. We have 2 new ones. We should be set for many, many years, hopefully. So that is all we have for tonight.
Awesome. All right, great
Yep.
report. We don't have any minutes, right, Joan?
I don't think so, no.
And then how about
We'll put
invoices?
it on next.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
And no invoices.
invoices.
Beginning of the
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's our agenda. So,
That's great.
can I get a motion to close our meeting for tonight?
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
All right, and I'll vote.
Allison?
And Allison
Yep.
vote.
Yeah, I vote yes to
Okay.
close the meeting.
All right.